So here I was working in the dining room at Clooney College. In every department in the Findhorn Foundation there is a person who's called the focalizer of that department, and it's his or her job to hold together the focus of the people who come to work in that department, and to have meetings with some of the people who come there. And also once a week you have a group attunement when you spend the whole of the afternoon. First of all you go to a meditation in the sanctuary mostly, and then after that you spend time together for the next few hours, really talking about your experience during that week and sharing what problems you might have had in that department, and also if you've had difficulties with anyone who works in that department. And then that was the time to talk about the difficulty you're having with somebody and to work through that difficulty if it was possible. And mostly it was, and the focalizer usually intervenes in some way into trying to get the two people to see each other's point of view, and then to find a place where they can then say, yes, okay, I can move on from this situation. If needs be, I can forgive the person for anything that they've damaged me in saying, or simply just to be able to move on so that the department works in an enhanced way, in a way in which everything is great for that department. So this was a new way for me to be living and to be trying to work through the difficulties that I sometimes had with other individuals. I stayed in that department for I think about 2.5 months, something like that, maybe a bit longer. For me there didn't seem to be enough of a challenge in there, and so it came to my attention that somebody was needed to focalize Park Kitchen. Now, Park Kitchen at that time was a very busy department. I had worked in the kitchen, and so I knew the kitchen pretty well. And so I went back into the Park Kitchen and eventually focalized that department, which was quite a challenging time, because, you know, working in a kitchen with all the heat and with all the tension there is, and the time scale that you have, that you've got to have the meal ready, it's got to be ready at a certain time, and everything needs to be out. Because one of the things that the foundation for me is that everyone's always hungry, so you know, they're always ready for the meal to be started, so you never wanted to be late, so you had this slight pressure always. But usually one had enough people working in the kitchen with you. As I've said before, anyone who comes to the foundation has to choose to work in a department, and the experienced week people spend a whole week in that department. So you've constantly got new people coming in and out of that department, which makes for a very interesting time, but also a challenging time, because everyone who comes has to be told exactly what needs to happen. But it was pretty graceful, and on the whole I loved being there. Yeah, I loved this cooking, because obviously cooking has been part of my life, so it was great to be able to carry on that in very much a serving kind of way. One of the things that happens in the foundation is that in those days was you used to have big conferences, and my goodness, they were really big. So over and above the people that you were cooking for, you have probably 200 more people who are arriving for a week. One of the conferences that I was very much involved with was a service conference, and I was asked to join a small group who used to meet once a week, and before the conference even started you were working at drawing people to come and spend time in the foundation who are attached to the idea of service. So we had the most wonderful conference, all devoted to service, and one of the people that came was a man called Ram Das, who was incredibly amazing person to be with and to listen to. His whole life, or part of, certainly the latter half of his life, has been around service. And he has a website, so that if anyone is really interested in finding out more about him, then go to his website. He's had a stroke now, and so doesn't travel. He used to travel an awful lot, but we were very lucky. And the foundation, over the years, always draws really wonderful people. People like Carolyn Miss, who used to come very, very regularly. Now she doesn't come as often as she did, but the time that I was there, she used to come quite a lot, and so I was very blessed in being able to be with her. And she's a great fun lady, and always on the go, and busy, but had a great dynamic kind of personality, which suited me. Doesn't suit everyone, but there you go, that's how it is. So after spending I don't know, probably a year, nearly a year I suspect, in the park kitchen. Oh, by the way, during this time I was still not having a place of my own, and used to go backwards and forwards to Clooney, to the shared room that I had with another guy. And eventually I did get a caravan, one little tiny caravan in the park. Before that I used to do what we called caravan sit. Anyone who went away for a week or 2 weeks, then you ask, could I stay in your caravan while you're away and look after it and give myself some real space. So I did that for quite a period of time. And then a caravan came available, and then that's an always interesting time, because there's always people put their names down for wanting this caravan, and so then you go into an attunement, and it's discovered who actually really needs to be in a particular room or in a particular caravan. And at that time I think there were 2 people after this one caravan, but in the end I got this caravan, and I'm going to put some pictures of this caravan on. I could actually put my arms out that way, and I would touch the walls, and it was quite reasonable length. It had a wonderful wood burning stove in, so it was great in the winter time to keep it warm. And I loved it, I loved it. It had a tiny little bathroom with a bath that I could get into and just put my knees up and splash myself around. So it was really a silly little bathroom, but I loved the space, and it was really wonderful. And I made it really very smart and very nice. Oh, I see I'm coming to the end of my time, so I'm going to have to stop here, and then I'm going to talk about, in the next one, the next department that I went into was the guest department. And this was a wonderful, wonderful time, and I loved it. And I'll talk about that next time. So, goodbye.